The Galactic Federation Military Academy prided itself on breaking recruits, not permanently, just enough to rebuild them into proper soldiers. For centuries, the final phase of basic training remained unchanged, the infamous Death March across the volcanic plains of Morkath 7. No cadet had ever completed it without assistance. That was the point. Drill Sergeant Vrex watched the latest batch of recruits with 6 narrowed eyes. 27 species represented, most from garden worlds with pleasant gravity and breathable atmospheres. Then there was Jones, the human. Deathworlder, Vrex's assistant Plex whispered, mandibles clicking nervously. First one admitted in 30 cycles, Vrex grunted. Earth is classified Category 12, they call it pleasant there. Pleasant? Plex's exoskeleton paled. The gravity alone would crush most of us. The human stood at attention, shorter than many. Cadets, but with a dense musculature that hinted at his homeworld's punishing conditions. His face remained impassive as Vrex explained the Death March. 40 kilometers across Morkath's burning plains. 16 hours of exposure to toxic atmosphere, fluctuating gravity wells and temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius. You will be given emergency beacons. There is no shame in using them when, not if, your biological limitations are reached. Jones blinked. Just once. The march began at dawn. Cadets strapped into environmental suits designed to provide minimal protection. The suits would monitor vitals and automatically activate emergency extraction if a cadet lost consciousness. Remember, Vrex announced, this exercise teaches you to recognize your limitations. The greatest warriors know when to retreat. As the cadets spread out across the blackened landscape, Vrex and the other instructors monitored their progress. From the command center, Morkath 7's twin suns rose higher, and the volcanic plains began to shimmer with heat. The first emergency beacon activated 3 hours in. A Florian cadet, whose chlorophyll-based biology couldn't process the scarce light filtered through the planet's ash clouds. By the 6-hour mark, half the cadets had been extracted. The command center buzzed with routine activity as instructors logged performance data. Sir, Plex called, antennas twitching. The human suit sensors are malfunctioning. Vrex hurried over. The display showed Jones's position advancing steadily, but his vital signs had flatlined. Dead? Vrex felt his heart sink. A diplomatic incident with Earth was the last thing the Academy needed. No, sir, the reading stopped, but he's still moving. Vrex tapped the screen. Activate his emergency extraction. No response from the system. The suit must have failed completely. Send a rescue team immediately. The rescue team returned 2 hours later without the human. He refused extraction, sir, the team leader reported. Said his suit was fine, just removed some unnecessary components that were weighing him down. What? Vrex's scales darkened in alarm. He dismantled parts of the environmental controls. Said he didn't need them. That's suicide. Plex exclaimed. Vrex paced nervously. What's his position now? 28 kilometers in, moving faster than before. The command center fell silent. No cadet had ever passed the 20-kilometer mark without assistance. As Morkath's suns began to set, the command center staff gathered around the main display. Only 3 cadets remained on the course. 2 draconians, evolved from apex predators, on a harsh desert world in Jones. The draconians triggered their beacons at the 35-kilometer mark, their impressive endurance finally giving out against Morkath's increasing nighttime cold. Jones kept moving. What is he doing? Vrex whispered, watching the lone dot approach the finish line. Humans aren't built for this. They're adaptable, yes, but they have clear biological limitations. The dot crossed the finish line as darkness fell. Impossible, Plex's voice quavered. They found Jones sitting calmly at the extraction point, sipping water from his helmet, which he'd converted into a makeshift cup. The rest of his environmental suit had been stripped down to a minimal harness. His exposed skin was reddened but intact. Evening, sergeants. He nodded casually. Beautiful sunset. Reminds me of Arizona back home, though the gravity pockets were a new experience. How? Vrex couldn't manage more than the single word. Humans are persistence hunters, Jones explained, stretching his legs. We evolved chasing prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. Not the strongest or fastest, but we just don't stop. He smiled. This was actually easier than some training hikes back on Earth. Your atmosphere is thin here. Vrex stared in horror. The toxic gases? Oh, those? My lungs filtered most of it. Might need a detox treatment later, but nothing serious. He glanced at the sky. The radiation was more annoying. I'll probably be sunburned for days. As the extraction shuttle lifted off, Plex turned to Vrex. Sir, what does this mean for the Academy's training protocols? Vrex watched the human chatting amiably with the medical officer, seemingly unaffected by what should have been a deadly ordeal. It means, Vrex said quietly, that we've been underestimating Deathworlders, if this is what they consider normal. He left the thought unfinished. Later that night, after filing his report, Vrex made a private call to the Academy Commandant. We need to update our understanding of humans immediately, he said without preamble, and possibly reconsider their classification. Because one cadet completed the death march, the Commandant asked. No, sir, Vrex replied, because he completed it and called it easier than training back home. If this is what humans send us as regular cadets, imagine what their actual soldiers are capable of. The Commandant was silent for a long moment. Revise the training program, he finally ordered. And send me everything we have on Earth. Perhaps we should be learning from them, not the other way around. Vrex signed off, then stared out his viewport at Morcath's desolate landscape. Tomorrow Jones would rejoin his class, unaware that he had just rewritten the Galactic Federation's entire approach to warfare, and the human called his world pleasant.